Um, I want to see if I can talk about this just for a few minutes because I'm tired. I guess I need to get some rest. But slavery, I want to speak on that. If anybody is messed up in doing slavery, the so-called white man has got our people thinking that a relationship is based upon what our men can do for them. Yeah, that's how the relationships nowadays are built. I mean, that's how that the enemy has lied and sold the because the enemy has lied and sold tares amongst the weak. So the tares are the children of the wicked one, you know, and they taught our women this. And so when our women greet us, it's it's not genuine because we have a system. Think about it. You're talking about a system that has brainwashed and has bugged our people's minds out for decades. Because remember, you have to look at it like this too. The Bible said, "He shall put a yoke of iron upon our necks until he have destroyed us." So when it don't, I'm not gonna lie, it is frustrating when you try to get to know a sister. The first thing come out their mouth is, and remember, we have to. I'm saying this. I repeat, you won't find me going against my people. Let me just get that set the record straight right now. I've been doing this for 10 years. This ain't no compromising for Esau. No. So you can miss me on that. This ain't no Uncle Tom riding out what I'm doing here. All the money in the world ain't worth that shit. All the money in the world ain't even worth you compromising and saying that God loves everybody. All the money in the world don't. You know what's important to me is maintaining and keeping them a spiritual life, not a spiritual life, but the true life and keeping the commandments as of a natural being in your natural state. And when our women speak like that, don't get me wrong, it is they got it from somewhere. They got it from the oppressor. That's the reason why they feel that it's necessarily that as soon as they meet a guy right off the rip, the reason that they can't have no real love for us is because they have been conditioned and programmed by the slave master. That's why it ain't got nothing to do with, well, that's a choice that they make. Black, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American people are doing it to themselves. No, it's a system. Now, can we make decisions? Yes. But at the end of the day, the white supremacy is contributed to our women with that type of mentality of thinking. See, I just can't sit up here and just blame the so-called African American woman, or Black or Hispanic or Native American person. You have to go all the way back to the roots of the problem, because there are many incidents you can look up, and you will see slave trade. Different nations of people was involved in Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American slavery. And in the process of that going down like that, you had a lot of them became, it was a lot of converting to Judaism and all that. You had a lot of converts that converted to a religion to disguise themselves as Christians. You see what I'm saying? And that's where the fake Jews come in at. You had fake Jews come from Spain, and then you had the real Jews went to other different parts of the world. You see what I'm saying? You had fake Jews everywhere, but the thing is, we have to. I say, I pray, I hope and pray. We hope and pray to be in that number. I pray and hope to be in that true number, that I was born in the true number. You know what I'm saying? My father's people, because it's important to know who. What I'm trying to tell you is that I'm telling the truth. I love the truth, and I just do. There's no other way around it. But the reason that our women are are like that is because they have been conditioned that way. And then, of course, a lot of our people was programmed, and they was, you have to understand, excuse, our women, the Bible says in Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1 and 2, learn not the way of the heathens. So what our people did, they went and mixed with the other nations. That's why a lot of our people look different. Some of our people look so different, you can't even tell the difference from a Jew, from a satanic Jew, Khazar, whatever, all that stuff, Jewish, Ashkenazi. You can't even tell the difference no more, because the enemy done sowed tares amongst the wheat. You can't tell the difference no more, because you literally had people disguising themselves as Christians, and they was disguising themselves as Christians, but they actually were Jewish people. You see what I'm saying? They were actually Jewish people. And you had those who disguised themselves, they disguised themselves as Christians because they didn't want to be identified as being the true believers of the Jews. Why? Because if they disguised themselves as Christians because it was a form of shield and protection, because if they was told openly or came out openly and practiced their the Jew culture, the Israelite culture, they would probably get arrested. They probably would get killed. Those were a lot. There was a penalty for calling yourself a real Jew back in the day. There were penalties, and there were laws in place for that. And you had what is called a small number of Jews who went around the world. Those number one worlds, not just Spain, but they went to Costa Rica too as well. It was a small number. It wasn't a large number because they say that the vast majority were Ashkenazi. It was a large number, about eight. Somebody said, I think it's like 85% of them were Ashkenazi or Jewish or whatever. But it was it was a small number, but they actually grew over time. They grew, but they settled there in Costa Rica because they was running from what. Now I know you can't go by what you hear, but I was looking at a video where it says that a lot of the people, the Jews, they was running from Hitler. That was the small number. They was running from Hitler, and they settled there in Costa Rica and stuff like that and things of that nature because it was persecution was bad. And then you had those Jewish Ashkenazis or whatever. They took and they immediately converted to Judaism, you know? And so, it's very important to be a part of being a real. It's important to know who your people are, on your father, the people of your father. You know, that's important, man. You know, but this the reason that our women think like that, or they feel that they want money because they putting a price on themselves because Esau, the so-called white man, has told our women it's okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? And when we didn't keep the commandments of God, we went into slavery. And this is what happened. I'm going to show you what happened when we went into slavery. I mean, excuse me, not, I ain't meant to put it like that. I meant to say our people went into slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to say. This is what happened. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse, I'm going to start at 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord spake unto you, O house of Israel. Verse 2, thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. That's what happened with our women. Let's read that one more time. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus said the Lord. That means this is what the Lord said. This is God said it. Thus said the Lord. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way, their ways, their thinking. Don't learn not the way of the heathen. The heathens is not the same as Israel. Notice he didn't say, thus said the Lord, learn not the way of Israel. It says, learn not the way of the heathen. But the first part of the chapter, it says, hear ye the word which the Lord spoke unto you, O house of Israel. See what I'm saying? This is the word that God spoke to you, O house of Israel. He didn't say heathen. He said Israel. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And let me go on. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay. Verse 3, for the a custom is a practice, it's a tradition. It said, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. What is that? What that sound like? Our people observing this so-called Merry so-and-so Christmas. Where did Merry Christmas, Mary come from? Mary, when Christ was born in a manger, they celebrated the birth, supposedly so-called birth, but that was the rebirth of the sun god. For the customs of the people, or the custom means a tradition as well. Your practice. Every nation have they call for the culture. That's what custom means. A custom means for the cultures of the people of vain. Because see, our people went around and adopted the other nation's culture. We going around practicing, and we have learned their way of thinking. We have you noticed that we take so much pride in honoring, respecting all of their laws, their customs, and we shit on our own culture because we don't want to have nothing to do with our own culture. Our people don't want to have nothing to do with their culture. They want to follow everybody else's culture but their own culture. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They decked it with silver and with gold. They fastened it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. You sitting there decorating that tree, and that tree don't move, it don't do nothing. But this is where our women get this stuff from. You know, this is where our people get this stuff from. They get it from Esau. You know, it comes from them. You know, so what I'm gonna do, I ain't gonna keep it out too long. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out tonight. But I want y'all to meditate on that, man, because the customs of these people are vain. Yeah. So I'll be back.